I'd like to share with you an amazing experience, a very mystical experience that happened probably back in 2011. I was sleeping and I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was awakened, and it was a very clear message and time for me to know that it was time to get up and meditate. And so I came into this room, this healing space, and I sat and I sat and I sat, and I was very expectant because I literally felt like I was awakened for something very special. But nothing happened, probably for a good hour. And I was getting a little antsy. And I kept sitting and asking if there was a message or something I was supposed to do specifically or just meditate. And I finally had this vision / full-on experience of being handed a huge, weighty golden key. And when it was placed in my hands, I was told, this is one of 3 sacred keys that we are giving you. And my guides didn't tell me anything except about the very first key, which is what I wanted to focus on. That first key, when I asked, what is it? What is the name? Before that happened, I actually burst into tears. So it wasn't just, oh, isn't this cool? There was a feeling of initiation, if you will, and a gifting beyond which I'd ever received. And so I knew the key was very, very sacred and very, very special. And yet I got nothing about what it was or how I was supposed to use it or what to do with it. So I begged and I said, please tell me something about it, because I could feel the energy of it was incredible. And as a teacher, I want to share everything I receive. So that was first of mine, is I want to share this. So the answer I finally got was this mouthful. This is the first key, and it is the key to the portal of perfected light. And I thought, oh my gosh, hold on, I have to write this down. I'll never remember. 3 o'clock in the morning, if I go back to sleep, I'll forget. So I got a pen and paper and I wrote it down because I didn't want to miss a word. And I asked about the other keys. I asked a million questions about this key. I got nothing else except the golden radiance of this initiatory experience. And that something profound had just happened. And so they said there are 3 keys in total. This is the first one, and you know how to use it. And that was it. And I was like, no, I need more. So that didn't happen. So I finally went back to bed, but I couldn't sleep. I was so on fire with this experience. I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to lose the feeling and the connection that I just had. And so I waited for Kumar to wake up. It was probably 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. I don't know. I woke him up early. And I said, you have to sit up and meditate with me. This is phenomenal. So I shared what happened. And as I was sharing it, I began to channel. It began to have this total inspired channeled session that lasted 4 hours, continuous from that moment. And what happened was I was transported back to a time that I did know how to use this key. I actually saw the key hung in the inside of this pyramidal temple, and it was called, and I knew it instantly, I was teaching in the Temple of Knowledge. And it was both Atlantean and Egyptian, and I started remembering, downloads and downloads of remembering who I was, what I taught, and mostly the courage to claim it now, because I sure didn't have that before this happened. And so the key was part of this journey of remembering who I was, awakening to my full and highest potential, and accessing Akashic records and all sorts of things that I didn't think I knew. And I didn't know, but I was asked actually shortly after this to teach a 6-month divine human course. I was given the name, I was given how long, and literally all I had was this first key and no idea how to use it, except that I knew that I would know. And so I did one of the ballsiest things I've ever done, which is I scheduled this 6-month course with almost nothing in my head of what I'm going to teach. But I knew that I was on purpose and on time and that it would come. And so what was revealed as I began to get the information about teaching it and what it was and how to install this key, there are many ways to use it actually that unfolded during the course and continue to unfold to this day. I'm still finding new ways, new applications for that first key to the portal of perfected light. But let me just express what they shared with me, my guides, the Council of Light mostly, and Yeshua, was that this portal of perfected light, this key was giving access that had been shut down until recent times. And the access was to a level of perfected light or Christed light, some call it, and I've been told to call it, this pure source essence, this pure God frequency, if you will, that we had been over the eons diminished from access to because we were misusing this power. We were misusing the energetics and the frequencies. We were misusing the radiance of this divine connection. And so this key was helping us to reclaim that connection, to expand it, to amplify our ability to hold and anchor what was possible. And this was being gifted to me, through me in this way and through the Divine Human Course as it evolved. But this idea that there is a portal to perfected light that we can access, it was mind-altering and groundbreaking for me and many of my students. So that was how it began, this incredible journey of remembering. You know, I have said that awakening isn't about so much new, although right now I will say there are a lot of new things that are accessible frequency-wise, because we have expanded our bandwidth to receive and hold and anchor these energetics. More and more people are awakening at this time than ever before. And so there is new happening now that perhaps has never happened before. And there is also the open portal or doorway to the past, to the Akashic records in the Temple of Knowledge, which is, by the way, what it was for, which didn't click in for years. I was just like, I know I'm in this temple and I'm teaching certain things, but I had access to everything in that temple. And that is also what I share. So this first key, blew my mind, blew my circuits, literally began to redesign my physicality to hold more divinity. And that is exactly what it does for everyone that I share it with in the Divine Human Course. So hopefully we'll see you there one day. But I wanted you to know that this is all happening. This is all possible. These are things that are opening for all humanity. Namaste.